Hello there, Carolyn Page, medium. Just recapping on the last video, I was talking about the typical things that we as spirit do on a regular basis. In particular, I was talking about Satya Sai Baba coming into my meditation and requesting that I go to his ashram in India in order to be healed from the disorder that I was suffering at the time. When I arrived at the ashram, an Indian woman took me to a dressmaker / tailor, and there I had 2 sari blouses measured up and made very quickly, within an hour or so, and I purchased 2 saris. I will make mention that Sai, during those chats that we had, telepathic chats that we had during those meditations, he advised that I wouldn't need to take any clothing apart from what I was wearing and some underwear, because I was going to be wearing saris. And I would arrive home with 5 saris in total. So here I was with my 2 saris. I was allocated my accommodation, and a lovely Sri Lankan lady assisted me in getting dressed. And I felt wonderful in the sari. I absolutely loved it. I loved the food. I was vegetarian, and of course it was all vegetarian. I loved the atmosphere, the peace, the incredible love that was so buoyant within the ashram. It was just wonderful. I loved it. Once again, in my life, I felt at home. Part of the ashram life was getting up very early at about 4 o'clock in the morning and going to the gathering place, which was where Sai's devotees went in order to be close to him. He would come to the gathering place every morning and collect letters that people had for him. Everyone was sitting cross-legged on the dirt floor and watching him as he graciously and gracefully wafted through, talking to some and taking letters from others. It was a beautiful affair. So I did that every morning, and after about a week, and I will mention that during that time, Sai and I were telepathically chatting during the day. It was lovely. I loved him visiting with me. So as I said, after about a week of going to the gathering place, this one morning I looked at him as he entered, and all I could see were the whites of his eyes. Once again, it was as though he was standing directly in front of me. In that moment, I had, all I can describe it as was a shock, a bolt, an electric bolt. It didn't hurt, but it went through my body and lifted me up, and I remained in that mesmerized state for the rest of the gathering time, which was probably about an hour. That happened the following morning, and it happened the next. So there were 3 in total. And I knew that that was the form of healing that I was to receive. I asked Sai in one of our daily chats whether I would ever return to the ashram. I would have loved to return to the ashram. However, his words to me were, "Mother, that will not be necessary." And I never have returned. On the return flight, one of the air stewards asked if I wouldn't mind a Malaysian woman sitting next to me. She was a little ill, and would I mind having her company? Of course not. We chatted all the way. It was wonderful. We spoke about our stay at the ashram and how delightful it was. She would go every year, generally in the month of November, which was Sai's birthday, when they had enormous festivities. The elephants would walk gaily dressed in their baubles and beads, and it was just a wonderful time of year, and I was fortunate enough to be there for that. When we arrived at Kuala Lumpur, she rifled through her suitcase and handed me a package. On opening the package, it was a sari. During the stay, I'd bought 2 saris on arrival and 2 more during my stay, and I was a little disappointed because Sai said I would arrive home with 5. Her gift was the 5th sari. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, do subscribe, like, share, and perhaps leave a comment down below.